Hello and welcome to myfinancesteacher.org. Today let's talk about crypto. We haven't talked about crypto for quite a while. And specifically today we're going to talk about the price of Ethereum versus Bitcoin, ETH, BTC. As usual, I like to find cycles in price actions of different assets. And for ETH, BTC, I think I see the cycles forming between the lows under 20-day moving average, followed by advancing phase into the peak above 20-day moving average, followed by a declining phase into the lows below 20-day moving average. Sometimes these peaks are not that much higher than the 20-day moving average. That's of course due to the bear market that cryptos have been all through 2018 until now. But the main thing I want to see here is the duration of these cycles. So since April last year until early February this year, that gives us 11 months, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cycles. So that gives us around 2.5 months per cycle. The current cycle has been going on for just over a month. It started in the beginning of February. And given that we are already below 20-day moving average, I think this cycle is already in its declining phase. So I expect lower ETH BTC prices over the next several weeks, I think into the second half of April, potentially until the end of April, early May. Now let's move the webcam a little bit so that you can see the RSI here. It is the 10-day RSI, and each cycle low since the beginning of bear market in cryptos came along with the 10-day RSI either touching the oversold levels or dipping into those oversold levels. Now zooming in a little bit on what has been happening to ETH BTC since December last year, I think we can see some sort of a triangle or a pennant formation on the chart. And according to this pennant formation, I expect relatively lower prices on ETH over the next several days. And once we reach this lower boundary of the pennant formation, we might expect some sort of a short-term bounce into the price range of around 36, 37 millibitcoin per Ether. After that, I expect a continuation of this declining phase, probably, as I said, into the second half of April, potentially even early May. And I expect a similar performance for RSI. It's far from oversold levels at the moment, so there is a lot of room for 10-day RSI to decline into oversold levels as well. And after that, in the next cycle, starting sometime in May, I expect somewhat of a nice gain, with Ether reaching potentially 40 millibitcoin per Ether. I guess we'll have to see about that in several weeks. And the last thing I want to look at on this chart is this downtrend line that has been dominating this chart all the way since early 2018, since this crypto bear market began. And recently Ether has unsuccessfully retested that resistance zone. That's another reason why I expect some sort of a decline for another several weeks until late April this year. However, in the next cycle, once ETH, let's say, reaches, well, 30 millibitcoin per Ether by the second half of April, by then this downtrend line will also have declined close to 34, 35 millibitcoin, with RSI being into oversold territory in the second half of April. There will be a lot of potential energy for Ether to successfully break above that trend line. That is the reason why I expect potentially nice gains in May or June. So that is my opinion on Ether. Personally, I do hold some Ether, although that is a tiny proportion of my crypto portfolio. I might pick up a little bit more for trading once price reaches somewhere around 30 millibitcoin per Ether. Will I have a chance to do that, or the price is going to skyrocket all the way up from here? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and have a nice day.